What's up guys, welcome to Talk with Twans. Today we're going to talk about one thing, and that is air. We're going to show you guys what we currently use and why you guys would need air if you guys are trying to get into the off-roading scene. And if you guys are an off-roading vet already, then you guys know air is a must. So the number one reason why you would need air when you are off-roading is so that you can inflate your tires back up to whatever PSI you are running it at. And the reason why you want to run your tires down or deflate the tires is because for two reasons. One, you want to deflate so that your comfort, for the comfort of the ride when off-roading, is going to be tremendously improved. And the reason why I say that is because you get more squish out of every bump or every rock that you hit when you're on the trail. And the other reason is because when the tire's deflated, it has more tires flatter, so it has more surface area to grab onto rocks or any kind of terrain that you're on. So yeah, those are the two main reasons why we deflate, and the reason why we need this guy right here to inflate the tires back up. The Viair 400P, this is what we use currently. It comes in this nice pouch right here, and it has side pockets for other stuff. They include some filters in here, and on the other side I actually keep my little Tecton tire pressure gauge. It's a digital gauge. It's really reliable, pretty accurate. So we're going to show you guys what this thing is capable of, and we're going to do that by testing it on this size tire, which is a 285/75/17 right there. Oh yeah, and as you can see, I finally broke in the Stealth Custom Series F5 wheels this past weekend. Got it scuffed up pretty good, but it was bound to happen eventually. And the front has one little one here. So yeah, let's pull this compressor out, show you guys what it can do. All right, so inside here we got one big zipper and a small one. The small one is going to carry the hose, and then the big zipper is going to carry the gauge gun, and then of course the compressor. So this is fairly new. We were using the old Viair one. I forgot what model it was, but the old one filled up to a tire size of a 33, and our tire size is a 34 now, so we had to upgrade. So this pumps way faster than the last one. The last one, I believe, took, I think, 5.5 minutes, maybe 6 minutes to fill up one tire, which is extremely long to wait. Because if you think about it, if you're waiting 6 minutes per tire, that's 24 minutes that you're sitting there waiting for the tires to fill back up. And of course, that is the worst part about going off-roading, is airing back up. Just because it takes forever, you're just sitting there waiting for it to air back up before you leave. So if we can take the time that it takes to fill up a tire down as much as possible, that is going to be the best thing. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to deflate this tire here down to about 15 psi. 15 psi to 20 psi is generally what I go down to when I go off-roading. So I got here, this is what I use currently, the ARB Easy Deflator, I believe it's what it's called. And this is what is in the bag. It's just this guy here. Has a nice gauge, and then I'll show you guys how to use this as well. So we're actually going to use the passenger front tire just because there's no sun on it, so we can set it here. It's completely in the shade, it has better lighting. First thing, of course, remove the valve stem cap, and then with the easy deflator tool, there's a couple parts that turns. This middle section here, this is the section that you use to turn onto the stem. And then next, the tip turns as well. You want to push down and then turn counterclockwise, and you'll feel the valve stem core start to loosen. So keep turning that until you feel like it's all the way out. Next, what you do is you're gonna pull this outwards like that. So pull it away, and then lastly, this big piece right here is gonna come up, and then when I pull that up, air is gonna release from the tire. And then when you want to stop, you just push it back in to check the actual pressure in the tires. So what we're going to do now, we're going to pull it out. Okay, so we're right at 20 psi. So what you want to do next, push this guy in and then twist it clockwise. And then once you feel the stem stop, just lightly turn it. You don't want to over tighten that. And then grab the middle part and loosen. So before we hook this up and test it out, we're going to need to assemble it. Grab the hose. Both ends are the same, so it doesn't matter which one you use. Stick it in. Just like that. And the next, you want to grab your gun. Same thing. Push this back, just like a regular air compressor tool. And then next, we're going to put these to the battery terminal. Red to positive, black to negative. Now that we got that hooked up, we set the compressor right there, and then the hose is long enough for me to go all the way to the back tires on both sides. And then this gun here, we just put this on the stem, and then push that down to close. So according to this, looks like we're just under 20, maybe at 19. So we will go off of this gauge just because it'll keep it consistent. Since this is saying we're at 18, once we hit 40, we know that we went up the same amount of PSI that we would if we were to measure it on something else. We're gonna turn the truck on because the engine does have to be running. Go ahead and start the engine. All right, once again, we're at 18 PSI on this gauge. So once we go up to 40, we know that we filled up 22 PSI within however long it's gonna take. So we're gonna start by go ahead and starting the timer, and then I'll press this down. And I just turned on the pump. I don't know if you can hear it or not, but it's extremely quiet. So here we go, and go. So the pump's running right now, and the engine is actually louder than the pump. So, and my last compressor was a lot smaller, and it was extremely loud. And yeah, it was just not as good as this one. and we're at 40. Another cool thing about this compressor that I like a lot is that it shuts off as soon as you let go of the, well, not as soon, maybe there's like a second or two of delay, but it shuts off the compressor. So we are at, as you can see here, 40 PSI, and it took us 3 minutes and 15 seconds roughly, and that's with me having to let go of the trigger a couple times just to check the pressure. But yeah, that's extremely fast compared to the 5-6 minutes that I was doing before with a tiny compressor. This compressor, I don't know if I mentioned already, but it fills up to a 35-inch tire, and I'm at a 34 right now, so even if I went up to a 35, I could still continue to use this compressor, which is another big plus. You don't want to have to do what I did last time, buying a compressor that fits the needs of a smaller tire, and then if you decide to go with a bigger tire one day, you gotta buy a new compressor. So I'm extremely impressed with this little 400p. I mean, it's not so little, but you know, pretty strong for its size. Well, that's it for this video, guys. If you guys have any comments, make sure you guys leave them below. We are going to do a series of off-roading essentials, so if you guys have any recommendations at what we should make a video of, make sure you put that in the comment too, and let us know what you guys are using currently for your air needs. And yeah, we'll see you next time. Peace.